I want to read you something. See how these land in your body. It feels natural, not forced. If you're ready to stop circling the same place, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Every one of those was on my live homepage up until today. And every one of them was quietly installing exactly what I do not wish my clients to feel. Did you notice that as you listened? There's a reason that happens. And by the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how to catch it in your own copy. In fact, I'm going to start showing you what I've already changed on mine. We talked about this last week. We discussed the 20th prime directive of the unconscious mind and what your reader's mind actually does with the words that you put on your website, in your socials, everywhere. If you missed that, go back and watch it. Click the link above because it will really help this episode to land even more strongly for you. But today, I'm going to show you how to catch it and to do something about it. Here's how this works. The unconscious mind doesn't process negatives. It builds the content of the sentence. Say, don't think of a pink elephant, and immediately, I bet you can tell me exactly what your pink elephant looks like. Because in order for your brain to not think about it, it first has to understand what it is it's not thinking about. The don't never lands. What lands instead is that gorgeous elephant. Am I right? Comment below, what does your elephant look like? Same thing is happening right here. This is what I like to call the stop spinning your wheels family. You know, sentences like, no more overwhelm, don't miss out. If you strip the negative out, because your brain is going to, we find that we are spinning our wheels, we are letting another year go by, and we are more feeling stuck. And I know that that is not what you want your readers to experience. The fix is actually really simple. Because we don't want them to have more overwhelm, we need to think about what they do want instead. We need forward-focusing language in our copy. So what do you want instead of more overwhelm? Perhaps you want clarity. Perhaps you want space. Perhaps you would love room to breathe in your business. So instead of writing about not having any more overwhelm in our copy, we switch this up to room to breathe. And now we are presupposing that this is possible and future pacing them. See the difference? Okay, this is where we look at the second way this appears in our copy. And this is a little sneakier because this phrase here is me reassuring you. I am tapping into what I presuppose is the way you are feeling and worrying. And I'm trying to do something nice here by giving you permission and saying, oh, it's not that. Don't worry, don't worry. But look what we're doing. Two things. First of all, we can take away the negatives and we can see that we're missing something and we're doing it wrong. So we're presupposing that they're missing something and they're doing it wrong. I wrote that to reassure you, to try and say, hey, you're not a failure. This isn't about you. Don't worry. This isn't your fault. And what I'm actually doing instead is installing the idea that something is missing and that it's wrong. Look at that. When you see it, you just cannot unsee it. And honestly, the most loving reassurances are often the ones that presuppose the deep wounds. And you have to name it to soothe it. What can we do to give this reassurance strongly without installing any wounds? Let me show you the fix. The fix is to spin it. Instead of focusing on what they're worried about, let's focus on the gift that these concerns give us as operators. In my case, as business owners. So if they're not doing it wrong, what would they be doing instead? Well, the fact that they're noticing something means they're paying attention. That's the first step to any kind of success, is to pay attention. They're asking better questions. Also really important if we're going to learn and grow. Of course, if they've got all of this, then they've built something real. They have something if they're going to be questioning it. And they're ready to take it further. I do this in timeline therapy too. If I'm working with you and I ask your unconscious mind what the lessons are, and it says something like, I'm not afraid, I don't dismiss that. And I don't go, oh, of course you aren't, babe. I go, great, wonderful, you're not afraid. And if you're not afraid, what is there for you instead? This is the same idea. If you're not missing something, what is there for you instead? You're asking better questions. You're paying attention. If you're not doing it wrong, what is there for you instead? Building something real and being ready to take it further. Do you see what we did? Same client, same problem, different approach. Let's move on to type 3. Type 3 is the sneakiest one of all, because this line, you might think that looks completely fine. It feels natural, not forced. That's a lovely line, right? Really sounds good, flows nicely. But let's look at the last 2 words. Not forced. First of all, we know that the word not doesn't exist. So, forced. Which means that although the sentiment is beautiful, the last instruction the unconscious mind receives is this word. Forced. Forced is what lands. The whole sentence is gorgeous. It has beautiful sentiment, but this is the word that lands. You probably felt it as I read it to you at the beginning. So here is the test that I use right now, both with my clients when we're writing copy and for myself. Read the line, then ask yourself, what is the last significant word my reader's unconscious mind hears as an instruction? If the answer is something you don't want them to feel, don't include it. It feels natural. Done. Not forced was never really doing much for it anyway. It was actually taking something away from this. So the through line throughout all 3 types is the same move. Name the gift, never the gap. Always reframe what is going on in forward-facing positive language. Think, if this isn't what they want, what do they want instead? 2, ask as you finish your copy, what do I actually want my reader to feel as they finish reading this? Write that. Just that. Don't need the negatives. And 3, really important, and trust that they will recognize themselves in this beautiful forward-pointing language just as readily as they would if you were using the negative. Because they do. They always do. Okay, so I told you at the start that I would show you the changes I've made to my own homepage. Here's the before. You might recognize some of the phrases. Feeling stuck in your business? It's not the strategy, it's how it's being shaped. You're not missing something obvious, and you're not doing it wrong. Right, so let's run through this. Feeling stuck. Let me know in the comments what's going on here. That's right, I've just installed the word stuck. We have presupposed that they are stuck, and even if they weren't stuck, they have to imagine what that feels like in order to decide that they're not it. Oops. And the one I love the most, it's not the strategy. Well, if it's not the strategy, then it has to be the strategy. And in my business, I don't believe that strategy on its own will fix big problems. We need 2 sides of the same coin. So not only am I negating here using the things I just showed you, I'm also undermining my whole brand script without realizing it. I know. And of course, the final one, you're not doing it wrong. You tell me in the comments, what are we actually saying to our clients? No wonder sales copy starts to feel heavy and icky. Can you see that now? 5 deficit installs in the first hero section of my website. And I'm trained in NLP. I just had not joined these dots before now. Here's what is live now. You can feel where your business is meant to go. A business with room to breathe and the freedom to grow it your way. Same person, same offer, same reader. How does it land in your body? Does it land differently? Comment below, because I'm actually curious. It does for me. It's a completely different instruction to the unconscious mind, isn't it? Feel. room to breathe, freedom, meant to go, which presupposes you already know exactly what you need to do. My job is to help you meet that information, meet the person inside you already who is ready to go there. And that is what I want you to arrive with when we work together. And so that is what I wrote. Now, next week, we're going to go a little bit further with this because as I've been exploring the prime directives, I can also see others that are really important to marketing copy. In fact, there are 3 more directives that can change how your copy works. And some of them surprise me even more than this one. Come back and see me next week for that one. I wonder if there was less negative installation in the media and in our copy, I wonder what difference that would make to the energy of the planet right now if we applied this more often. Curious. I'll see you next week on the Inner Business Podcast. Take care.